Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of The Cool Daddy. Yep, I messed it up.
Oh, you done messed up now.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, and we are back with another episode. This time it's just me, just solo, so I'm going to catch you up on what's happening with Cool Daddy Disc Golf and other things going on. I hope you enjoyed that episode with Tyler Brickley. I had a great time with Tyler Brickley. It was funny. I laughed at it. Now I can laugh even more at it, but I would say in the moment I was like, where is he going with this? What is going on?
Okay.
Not mad, but I was like... Oh, so now that's where we're going. We're now going to compare ourselves, like blatantly compare. He's such a funny, kind of a low key, not sure where he had talked. And did he talk about it on the show? I can't remember if he talked about it on the show or before the show, but he talked about doing some kind of disc golf between two ferns, and I think he would be fantastic for it. So hopefully he does something like that. But we had talked about him coming back on the show, and he has moved on to a new job. And he's trying to learn, get some training in that new job. So hopefully once that's all settled down, he'll be able to hop back on the show. He says he really wants to do it because he misses being part of the disc golf media world. And so he thought, well, this would be a fun way to stay connected and have a little fun. And I always had fun talking to Tyler. So if you haven't listened to that episode, it's the episode right before this one. So go check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. Even on YouTube now. Now YouTube's got a whole special podcast thing. So what's going on? Let's see. I spent the better part of the last weekend putting up, moving my inventory, and I created a brand new site. I'm using Shopify, and I thought I know that there's a way to get apps to be able to, in other words, what I was doing is I want to have a retail side and I want to have a wholesale side, right? And so I knew that within Shopify, there was a way to kind of manipulate the hide products, and I tried it out, did some testing, and I thought this is kind of, So I went ahead and got another Shopify site. So I have two sites. I have CoolDaddyDiscGolf.com, which is the retail side. Then I have dealers.CoolDaddyDiscGolf.com, and that's the wholesale site. So my thinking is that, because I've had people reach out to me on Instagram once they know that I do the they know I do the social media and marketing and stuff like that for Clash Disc. I say, hey, I'm trying to get some distribution going. Where can I order straight from Clash Disc? Well, no, you really can't, because ordering straight from Clash Disc, unless you have a large order, there's a lot of shipping costs involved because it's shipping from Finland. So a lot of small stores are like, well, I just need quick restocks. I just need, I'm running out of berries, but I have plenty of cookies or plenty of salt, but I'm just running out of berries. So I thought, well, maybe that's like a little niche that I can kind of fill. So if you have a small order, then you can go to my website, create an account, and I can fulfill your small order to put Clash Discs in your store, which is awesome. And so I got all that up and running, and I started reaching out to the smaller stores and telling them what's going on, and I already got 3 big orders. Fantastic. It's awesome. Now, one of the cool things is I reached out to a Basket Case Disc Golf here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was like, hey, place an order, I'll bring you the discs. They're literally like a 15-minute drive from where I live. And they're like, fantastic. So they placed an order, and I sent them, took some Clash Disc over to them and was able to kind of visit with them. What's really exciting is that they say Clash Disc is growing. People are walking in asking about Clash Disc, and people are loving certain molds. And so anyway, that's just a really cool thing. So that's where I'm at with the wholesale side. I think I have the wholesale side set up really nice to make it easy for people to shop. Then I found a Play It Again Sports place here in Tulsa, that someone that I knew from a men's business meeting thing I go to on Tuesday night. He happened to walk in Play It Again Sports, and he saw some discs, told the lady about what a guy he knew that was doing this for Clash Disc, and she was like, boom, here's my card. I need Clash Discs, more Clash Discs in my store. So I went and visited them today to talk to her to see what her needs are as far as Clash Disc. Had a great conversation. Again, she was like, Clash Disc is just growing. People are actually coming and asking for it. I want to grow my inventory of Clash Disc, so this will work out really well. So just really cool, exciting stuff happening on that end, trying to build the distribution side of things for Clash Disc. So now, I'm putting that out to you. If you own a store, if you know somebody that owns a store that wants to have Clash Discs in their store or just needs some restock, have them go to CoolDaddyDiscGolf.com. The tab called Resources, right underneath it says Become a Clash Disc Reseller. Check out the information, fill out the form, and I'll get you an account created, and we'll get you getting taken care of. So super exciting things taken off there. The other exciting thing that's going on is I know I needed to build awareness for my store. And one of the greatest things is to have a team. I mean, it seems like a natural thing to do. So it's like, what do I want this to look like? Well, I'm just starting out. So I know I needed something small, and I need to just be able to give a little bit to get a little bit. In other words, my thinking was, if I give like a street team, now there's a lot of negative connotations with street team. And I come from back in the day when Prodigy did the street team. Now, this has nothing against Prodigy. Prodigy is a great disc golf company. But the way they did the street team back, I didn't agree with how they were doing it. Did not agree with how they were doing it as far as there was felt like a convoluted way where, okay, I'm just going to keep it real. People were saying they were sponsored by Prodigy when they weren't really sponsored. They were just, you would buy stuff at a discount. Now, back in the day, this is the way I understood it. You bought a package from Prodigy, and then you got to be on their street team. And there were certain rules you had to follow, and there were certain benefits you get, which is fantastic. That's okay. That's cool. If that's the understanding, if Prodigy gives them a discount, gives them early access to discs, and in return, the players promote them, say, look at the Prodigy discs I throw. This disc is amazing. This is great. If that's the understood agreement, perfectly fine. The part that was so weird and that was like I disagreed with was that it was being pushed as if you were sponsored by, and the connotation of sponsorship in my mind was like you paid for touring, you paid for apparel, you gave discs. I mean, that's what we were doing at Dynamic Disc when we said, hey, you're on Team Dynamic Disc and you're sponsored. Of course, it depended on different levels you were on, but you would get discs, you would get tournaments paid for, you would get apparel. Now, not everybody got their tournaments paid for, but you get my point. And so I didn't want to do that with Cool Daddy Disc Golf in the sense, now I'm sure, okay, I keep digressing, but a lot of you are talking about, there is the Dynamic Disc Squad, which I thought was a great idea. Again, you're on the squad, you're not on the team, right? Some players will take it too far. Now, again, as a social media guy for Dynamic Disc at the time, I would have people reach out and say, hey, do you sponsor this one guy? He's on the course saying he's sponsored by you, and he's talking like trash to other people. He doesn't seem like a good representative. And I'd have to do some research, and I'd be like, that guy's he's not on a team. He's not sponsored, but he is part of the squad. That's something different. That's like a loyalty program. That's basically, in my eyes, what it is. It's a loyalty program. You're going to say, we're going to give you a reward system, a point system to build by rewarding you, by you purchasing our gear, getting a discount, and then you work your way toward rewards. To me, in my eyes, it's just like a punch program. Subway. Buy 10 foot longs, get the 11th foot long free. Whatever. It's a loyalty program, right? So anyway, my thinking with Cool Daddy Disc Golf is that I want a value. In my mind, it's a value exchange, right? I need awareness, and for Cool Daddy Disc Golf, I'm going to help you out and help you, give you a discount on your Cool Daddy Disc Golf purchases on discs. Makes perfect sense. It's a street team. It's a team. It's allows you to say, I'm partnering with Cool Daddy Disc Golf, and I get a discount. And then that person, okay, so perfect example, Cody Walker. He just announced it on his Instagram. I'm partnering with him. His Instagram name is Late Night Snacks. His code is snacks. In other words, if you use his unique code when you make purchases, you get a percentage off your purchase. When he wants to buy Clash discs, he goes to my store, he buys it, he gets a discount, a value exchange. I think, to me, for the latter part of 2023, I think it'll work out perfect. So I've already posted about that on my Instagram. I've already got an application people have filled out. Still have it open. Again, it's available at CoolDaddyDiscGolf.com under the resources tab. You can join Team Cool Daddy, and it gives you a form you can fill out. If you're more than welcome to fill out the form. It's going to be a super small team because I'm starting out small. All this stuff, you got to start out small, test it out, figure out what works, what doesn't work, and then go from there. So I have a handful of people that I'm going to review their stuff, and hopefully by the weekend, I'll let them know about being part of Cool Daddy Disc Golf, and that'll get launched. So I'm super excited about that. And then, so where I'm at with Cool Daddy Disc Golf is now it's a lot of the foundation is there as far as building that business. A lot of the foundation as far as having an online store, having an online wholesale site. I am getting more discs. I bought more discs from Class Disc. I should get them tomorrow. I think it's going to be about 300 discs. So it's going to add back, and I think they're going to be. I'm pretty sure I know what I ordered, so I'm hoping it's in this shipment. But some more vanillas, because the vanillas are sweet. I love that disc. And that disc is so popular, and that disc sold out so fast. So by tomorrow night, I'll have some more vanillas on the site for people to buy. And if you're a store, I ordered a lot so I can put in the distribution so that if you're a store, you can order some vanillas. So the foundation is there. Now it's time to really put in work. So today what I did was I went on UDisc and their store finder and basically typed in Oklahoma. Show me all the stores in Oklahoma. Looked at their stores, looked at their Facebook page, make sure they were still an existing store. And then I sent them an email. Hey, I'm Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. I got a Cool Daddy Disc Golf store. I got a wholesale site. If you're looking to restock your Class Disc, I'd love to help you. Love to figure out how we can help you for your small restock orders. So this is the time that you put in the work, the time you sit down, you organize everything. And I did a little timer, 45 minutes. I'm going to do all that. And I got 10 stores listed, created a spreadsheet, reached out to them, researched their store, make sure they're still an actual store, and sent that out. And then tomorrow I'll do the rest of Oklahoma, and then I'll move on to what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the connecting with Oklahoma. Because I'm in the middle, Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was one of the things that was an advantage of Dynamic Discs being a distributor, is that we were in the very middle, and so shipping times were really great for just about every state, right? Because a lot of times when you had warehouses that were on the other side, to one side of the United States, the shipping times took a little longer. So me being centrally located makes perfect sense for shipping time for a lot of stores. But for a lot of people that'll make sense. In my mind, I'm thinking the surrounding states around Oklahoma. So that's what I'm going to hit first. And I'm calling it my cold calls. I'm just going to cold email people and just build it from there. So that's kind of what I got going on with that. Then I've got to obviously create posts for Cool Daddy Disc Golf, and I still got to do work for Class Disc. So I got to create social media content for them. So excited about that. But yeah, so that's what's going on with the store. Just filling you guys in on that. Now, one thing I did post on the the Dynamic Disc, or I can't even, the Disc Golf Answer Man podcast was a lot of times I like to post polls just to see, just out of curiosity, see people's opinions. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. So I asked, you just hit your first ace. Let me know all that apply. And this is everything that you would say, or the answers that I gave you, the choices. Either everyone with you signs your disc. So again, you got your first ace. You're super excited. You run up to the basket. You grab it. You grab that disc. What happens? Everyone with you signs your discs, or you tell people, keep your hands off my disc, my ace disc. I don't want a bunch of marked up, signatures on my ace disc. And I said, let me all that apply. So the disc is now retired, or it is now my lucky disc, and I will keep throwing it. And then, of course, but first, let me take a selfie. And then the final choice was, I am good with just my group or myself knowing about the ace. So in other words, I don't tell people. Not surprisingly, 39% of you said everyone with you signs a disc. That just seems to be like a tradition. It's like, let's celebrate together. Let's memorialize this event, and I'll just have everybody sign it. One thing I don't want you to do not sign the basket. Please don't do that. Don't sign your disc away. Put everything on the disc, but don't dirty up a basket. Who cares enough to dirty up a basket? Oh, that's just so annoying when I see that. 20% said, it is now my lucky disc and I will keep throwing it. And so what's interesting, opposed to 15% that said that disc is now retired. So a little bit more of you says, I'm going to keep throwing this disc because, well, let's put it this way. You obviously threw the disc because you liked it. You obviously threw it to the basket because in your mind you're thinking, this is the disc I want to throw at that basket. And you made it, so obviously you like the way that disc flies, so you're going to keep throwing it. So that makes sense. But, a lot of people like to memorialize their stuff and put their ace discs on the wall. So I get it. I think that's cool. 20% said, but first let me take a selfie, and only 3% said, I'm good with my group or myself knowing about the ace. That's again, we're celebrating together. I think that's perfectly fine. And I think that's awesome. So the opposing of everyone with you signs your discs, or 3% says, so a lot more people said they want you to sign the disc. It was close when it came to keeping the disc and throwing it or retiring it, but it was definitely off 20% versus 3%, whether let me take a selfie and then just keeping the news to myself or to the group. So interesting information. Now, some of the comments people said I thought were interesting. Joshua Fritz says, the only disc I ever retired was the one that was my first ever tournament ace, and it was witnessed by almost 30 people, and everyone signed the disc. All other ace discs get the group signed it. Get the group signed it, and anyone that saw it, and they continue to fly because, hey, they know where to go. Exactly. You trusted that disc. You liked that disc, so you went with it. So let me ask you this. So I remember when I was playing, when I first started, if you saw, and I've heard different amounts, like, what was it? If I'm out playing disc golf and I make an ace, then the group gives me $1. I've heard anywhere from $1 to $5. And anybody who saw it, so even if you run another another card, another hole, and you happen to see the ace, you owe the guy that got the ace $1. Does that still happen? Is that still a tradition? Let me know in the comments. Also, I've heard if you ace the wrong hole, you have to give everybody that saw that $1, or at least some money, which I always thought was interesting. Is that still a thing? Is that still a tradition? Steven Livingston says, ace free since 2016. I may need medical assistance. I've only had one. And there's some debate of whether it really was an ace. We were in Emporia, Kansas, and what were we playing? I think it was just a league night, and it was the I forgot the name of the courses over here. It was a short course right by the Tech College, a Flint Hills Tech College course, and we were warming up. And I was shooting a hole 2, and it wasn't maybe a 250 hole. And I'm warming up, and I'm throwing different discs. And I at the time, I believe I threw a judge at it, a verdict, and then a suspect, and the suspect went in. Everybody was like, woo, ace. And I was like, ace. And then I posted, I was all excited. I took my selfie. I posted it on Facebook, got my first ace. And then was it someone that was there? Or maybe the way I explained it, someone said, Bobby, you always talk about on your show about aces and what really is an ace. That was your third shot. Is it really an ace? And I was like, oh, man. So it's kind of, I get it from two different sides. People are like, that's an ace. You count it. Other people are like, dude, it's not really an ace. You had 2 practice shots. An ace is when your very first throw on a hole. Let me know your thoughts. What is an ace? Is that an ace, even though it was my third throw warming up, or does it have to be? Or I've actually heard some people say it has to be a tournament. You have to be in a tournament, like the tournament pressure, the tournament setting, in order for an ace to be like a good ace. I've heard the difference between ace, tournament ace. So curious about your thoughts. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments your thoughts on tournament ace versus ace, or whether my ace was actually an ace or just a really good third shot. Danny says, I always don't know I don't want people to sign my ace disc. Also in 4-0 playing, still no ace other than practice throws. So Danny, you and I are, depending on how people view it, we are in the same boat. Cody, still waiting for my first. That disc will be for the wall. After that, good mojo, and I want to keep it going. Okay, so that makes sense. So your first ace will end up on the wall. It'll be the super celebratory one where it's like, yeah, I got that ace. Look at that disc with all the signatures on. Got that ace. And probably have the whole story written on the back of how it happened, how you were feeling, what the weather was like, who all was there, that feeling that you got when you got that ace. This is the complete story. And then after that, everything else just kind of stays in your bag. Justin said, I just got mine earlier this week. That is now a wall hanger. Johnny says, neither of mine were witnessed. The first one, I no longer bagged that disc, but just because it's so niche and I rarely grabbed it. Second ace was a solo glow round, and I still bagged that. Nice. Tanner says, I lost an ace disc once, and after that, they just go back on the rack. I don't know. I feel like an ace is special. If you've ever received any amount of money for an ace, you appreciate that disc even more. I'm not the guy that hangs up that's hung up on ace disc. I do, however, I'm not that guy that hangs up an ace disc. I do, however, hang up trophy stamp disc. Okay, that makes sense, Tanner. So yeah, is an ace more valuable if you made money? I've seen plenty of stories people post on Facebook. And in fact, I remember it was Anthony. He played a tournament and he did not put money into the ace pot. And he got an ace, and it was like $200 or $300. Maybe it wasn't that much, but it was significant enough. Well, any amount of money, if you get a nice ace, but you forgot or you didn't, or forgot, or didn't pay into the ace pot, and then so you don't get any money, that stinks. So yeah, is it more celebratory? Is it more valuable of an ace if you walked home with, or if you won some money when you got that ace because you put your money in ace pot? So. Interesting stuff, guys. If you like this poll, participating in polls, make sure you go to Disc Golf Answer Man Podcast Facebook page. We are at about 10.9 thousand members. So some it seems like some weeks there are a lot of chatter on there. Some weeks there's not a whole lot of chatter. So, but if you like being part of the community, being part of the conversation, make sure you join that Facebook group. That's it. That's all I got for this particular episode. I'm hoping Tyler Brickley will be with me next week, and I'm hoping some of my people that join and partner with Cool Daddy Disc Golf, maybe we can get them on the show. Maybe we can put together a little show where we can talk about specific topics of disc golf, or specific things going on with Cool Daddy Disc Golf, or what's going on in their area. I've got a few events that I'm working with. I've got Tyson Jones from Farm Path Tours that Class Disc is actually sponsoring one of the events. It is called the Amateur T-Town Throwdown, happening August 12th through 13th. Right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, being played at Chandler and Riverside. So if you want to do some traveling during that weekend, come on down. We're going to have some class discs in the players pack, and I'm going to have a little setup there so you can purchase some class discs. So it's going to be excellent, a lot of fun. Entry fee is $50 for all divisions, and $5 of that is going toward the course repair, because we had a pretty big storm come through a couple weeks ago that actually has shut down a few of our courses. And so we're helping things out to get that back, get the courses back to looking really nice. Saturday, 2 rounds at Chandler. Sunday, 1 round at Riverside. So if you can, join us out there. I've got another guy that I'm talking to. I don't want to give it away because nothing has been agreed upon, but another event here in Oklahoma where Cool Daddy Disc Golf and Class Disc are going to be part of. So excited about that. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Make sure you give a thumbs up, comment, subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening to this, thank you. Give me a rating and review. I know that the format keeps changing, but I love talking disc golf, and I love talking about what's going on in my disc golf world, and I love that you guys like to listen. So appreciate you guys.